Okay, so this is one of these videos that puts a pit in my stomach, and the reason for that is that Julian Brown is one of the most inspirational young leaders that inspires even me, right? I think he's 21, about to be 22 years old. And ever since he's been 17 years old, he's been chasing a dream of changing the world. And unlike most other people who just do worthless protests and yell at people on the street, he put in his thoughts to action. He built something that can actually help change the world. He literally built something that can help change the world with very little funding at first. Started at 17 and is growing exponentially. Even to the point to where he has found a way to turn plastic into gas that's been powering lawnmowers, edgers, all the way up to diesel trucks and cars. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video where he said he's under attack first, and then we'll talk about him a little bit more.
All right, listen, everybody. I can't go into too much detail, but there is some very, very odd stuff going on. I'm certainly under attack right now in many different ways, and I just want everybody to know to just kind of have your eyes open. And I have my eyes open, but there's a lot going on. So I'm still working. I'm still building. Nothing's gonna stop that. But I'm just telling you guys right now, be on the lookout because I'm under attack.
I honestly got hope. This is one of these situations where this young man has worked so hard his whole entire life that he just went ahead and maybe some friends and family just came together. It's like, you know what? You need to take a break. You need to relax. You're going too hard. Disconnect from the internet for a while. Let's go on vacation. Let's get your mind right. Because if you keep going at the rate you're going to crash, and we don't want to see that happen to you. I really do hope that is the situation. In fact, I'm speaking that into existence. That is a situation. Because I don't want to think of the possibility of what it really could be. That normally when a young, talented, intelligent black man inspires a bunch of people that has a movement behind him, the government tends to get involved. And when the government gets involved, bodies tend to go down.
I know that I'm not going to live long. And that's why I put every day, every hour, every minute into building, into growing. Why am I out here working on this plastic and the fuel reactor I've been working on for 5 years, since I was 17? Why am I out here in 100-degree weather? Why am I out here despite being falsely accused and reported to the EPA and the IRS? Why am I out here despite weird black helicopters that turn off their radar transponder circling me 6 times at night? Why am I out here sleeping in my van, crazy humidity, mosquitoes, gnats flying in, and yet I still do it? Why am I out here despite having to drive 4 hours every time I want to work on this machine, because when I was doing it in my parents' backyard, I blew myself up and I had to go to the hospital for 2nd-degree burn surgery? I do this because this is my mission that I've assigned myself to. I do this because I do not fear death. I do not fear suffering or uncomfortability. You know what I fear?
The conviction this man has in his voice is very powerful. The thing that bothers me about everything he's saying when he opened up saying that he know he doesn't have long to live. That hit my heart. Because you know when it's like when you have an older family member and they know they don't have much time to live, and they will tell you that. So they want to see you. They want to put eyes on you. They want to touch you. They want to interact with you one last time before they leave. When I hear people talk like that, that's what it makes me think of. And I like I said before in the beginning of the video, I really hope it's not the case. I really hope that people around him that love him, they decided to, you know what? You need to take a time out. Let's get you away. Because yes, I remember when his other reactor blew up and he was in a hospital, and the disgusting nature of his legs. I'm using the word disgusting because it was, I don't want to use horrific, but he was missing skin, and he got burnt down to the white meat. But he still kept pushing forward. And I remember at that time, people were saying the government's coming after him, all this other kind of stuff. And instead of like getting sad and depressed online and doing woe is me, he made a joke out of it and said that, you know what? He started wearing a suit and started doing the John Wick thing, even had a pencil. That's a strength of will that you don't see in too many people anymore, especially young people. Like I said, he's 21. What, Gen Z? Come on now. This man is a threat. Not a threat to us, but a threat to the establishment. Because if a civilian could find a way to make our waste, it is something we need every day to fuel our cars, our lawnmowers, everything else. And it's helping the environment by him making it because he's getting rid of the waste. Why wouldn't the government want to control that or get rid of it? They have a history of that. I'm not going to go down a long list on this video. I'm just going to keep it focused on him because I am deeply concerned. And we just kind of want to update. This is a simple update. So if a family member has been watching videos about him, give us an update. You know what I mean? But let's continue with the video though.
I fear allowing an idea of something that may not even exist or happen have enough control over your entire life to where you're not even really living your life. That's the only thing I fear. And thus, I am completely set on what I want to do here, and nothing will steer my course but myself. And I am not a quitter. And now that I've set my mind on this, because I wish to liberate humanity. I wish to liberate humanity from this cycle in which we're bound by waste, in this cycle in which we're bound by division, in this cycle in which we're bound by not knowing ourselves. I wish to free us all from all of this. And now that I'm set on that mission, I'm not giving up. And so it will happen, no matter what. Because you know what, to me, when I'm building something, I expect it to be hard. I expect it to be uncomfortable. I expect it to be difficult. You know why? Because that's the whole point. You have to suffer to grow. You have to feel uncomfortable to attribute value to what you do. So you may see this and you see a piece of metal with certain pieces of metal welded onto it, but I see it for what it really is. I see it because when I see this, I can go back in time to not just putting it together, but the motivation as to why I put it together, the hope, the purpose, the passion, all right here embodied. My soul is within this, just as yours is within anything you do and put your mind to as well. So if you wonder why I'm out here and why I'm not going to do anything else but continue to stay on this mission until I see it through, until I say it's complete, that is why. Because it doesn't matter what anything externally is. There is no threat. There is no uncomfortability. There is no amount of suffering that will steer me from what I wish to do, because that is the life I wish to live.
Like I said, powerful. Powerful in strength. And it's not just words. He has continuously and continued to move forward. He hasn't looked back. At least I can't tell he looked back. Anyways, let's go ahead and switch gears a little bit, because when I first heard of his reactor, and I was just thinking, Trash Island. So, let's take a look at this right quick. Trash Island. Estimated area 1.6 million square kilometers, between about 117,000 square miles. Roughly the size of Texas and 3 times the size of France, located in between Hawaii and California. The main composition of that, 92% plastic. So you mean to tell me if we had his reactor on a large scale, we can take out Trash Island and have plenty of fuel? So that will solve the energy crisis and the environmental crisis. We won't be eating fish that has microplastics in it. Just think about that for a second. This young man is actually working on something that could change the world for everyone. And now he's missing. That's a very sad thing. Very sad.
Look, spotlight right at me. I don't know what's going on. This is the third time this helicopter's been here. Look, it has a spotlight on it. There's a helicopter spotlight that keeps circling around me. It's so loud though, like I can't even go to sleep. Alright, so for those of you who have not seen my stories on Instagram, 2 nights ago I was sleeping in Alabama where I work with my reactor, and there was a helicopter that flew really low and had a spotlight at 10 o'clock at night. Flew over me, shined the spotlight right into my windshield, then flew away, came back, did it again, came back, did it again, came back, and did it again. It came 5 times, and this helicopter was flying so low I could feel the blades in my body. And I was recording it and posting it to my story, right? Letting everybody know what was going on. I was ready to leave. If it had done it the 6th time, I would have been gone. Let me tell you why this gets freaky and starts to get scary now. Outside of how scary it is to have a helicopter circle you 6 times in the middle of the country, where there's almost, like I've been there for a year, never seen a single helicopter out there. So to have a helicopter out there at night with a spotlight circle me 5 times is already freaky enough. But many of you suggested I get Flight Radar 24. I'm a gold member. I got it. I listened, okay? Because you can go back in time, you can select categories to figure out what type of plane you're looking for, right? Like if I wanted to do just helicopter, I could do all the filters, but then I can go back in time too to see. I can go directly back to the date and the time at which this happened. So right now I have it filtered for helicopters, and right now as I'm filming this, these are every single helicopter that's flying in the world right now, everywhere. This app is pretty cool. And I gotta say, if you guys are watching Flight Radar, you can sponsor me because I actually really like this. I can't show you guys my screen because you'll know my location if I do that. But here's the scary part. I went back in time. I went hours before the helicopter ever showed up and just sat there looking at the screen. And guess what, guys? No helicopter ever showed up on Flight 24. But I have it on video. There was a helicopter there. But why was that helicopter not there? I wish I could show you. I can't give away my location. And I know it's the exact time because Instagram has the time when I posted it archived. So I have the exact date, the exact time, I have the exact location, and yet Flight 24 is telling me there was no helicopter in the sky. So, and there were some other things I didn't say to you. There were some points where the whole sky was lighting up like a flash. And then I saw some stars in the sky that were moving. Oh, it was just a bloody shooting star or comet. No, these stars weren't moving like shooting stars. They were moving like up and then just disappeared. So I don't know what I saw, and they were very high up. This is not a drone. This was a star that was moving and disappearing.
And I hope this young man doesn't become a Netflix documentary or anything like this. I hope he does show up. And like I said before, I really do hope, because he's been working so hard towards his dreams and goals, that at the end of the day, it's just his family looking out for him and say, hey, you need to take a break. Let's go ahead and relax and get this going. Now, I went ahead and went to his Instagram and his TikTok. I discovered him on TikTok originally. And let's see here. I'll go to his Instagram. I think he has more posts on there. But he hasn't posted on either platform
You know why I
in a
hate
long
sunscreen?
time.
Not because I'm...
This one was on July 7th. He makes his own like natural deodorants and things of that nature. Instagram though, pretty much the same thing. Let's see. Erica, how you doing? Let's see what you say here. I genuinely pray this young man has just went off the grid in order to protect himself and his family, rather than him being missing, and has been on any outlets that he... Yeah, it has been on... It hasn't been on any official outlets, but a lot of the time the official outlets are behind when it comes to letting us know things. And let's be real here, a lot of the official outlets work for the government. I'm not trying to get into a conspiracy theory area here, but if you have a person that's a social media platform who makes his living posting. That's how he helps funds and stuff, not just donations. He's posting. He has his own business. He has a second business, the natural deodorants and stuff. He hasn't been seen in a long time. I mentioned earlier in the video, in this live, that I hope it's just one of these situations, kind of like what you said. His family that's been seeing him working really hard, and it's like took him like, hey, let's just go ahead and get out of here, disconnect from the internet. I genuinely hope that's what it is, because this is a brilliant young man that can help lead the way for plenty of other people that we're not going to be able to see in a long time. He's like a once in a generational talent, and he's a young man that you can be proud of, and you don't even know him because of his integrity and his work ethic. That's a once in a generational thing. So whenever you see somebody like that has disappeared, it makes you concerned. And I'm not a deeply religious man, but this is one of these few times I really do hope that, he's just okay. But just taking a look at his Instagram though, you see him working on his reactor. And that was the original video of the helicopter I pulled. This is the video of one of the videos after the explosion.
Look at him.
I'm being cooked alive by some damn invisible fire. The Holy Ghost. Boy. The Holy Ghost is burning me right. I can't even see the fire. Look at this bloody bollocks, man. I'm in Church's Chicken Deluxe.
Right, so about 1 year ago, right, G blew himself up messing about with my plastic into fuel reactor, and I damn near blew my legs off. The blast of fire aimed right down at my feet. I was barefoot, no safety equipment.
Now, I remember when this blast of fire originally happened, a lot of people said it was the government originally, and I probably should have said graphic material when it showed his skin burns, but it's just one of those things that when I first saw that, I was like, this is very disturbing to say the least. Because he's always been very careful when it came to working on his reactor and things. So to see that just to happen like that was very surprising.
I'm in basketball shorts like an absolute goofy, but I've learned. Let's see how I look though after a year.
So obviously, I'm mobile and I'm functional because I've been doing all this work. But the scars are there. And so, I am now a hybrid. I'm black and white. And I burnt myself so much that I became white. And it's interesting because you would think, obviously, I'm already quite dark as is. I didn't think I could even burn. Like, what happens if you burn charcoal? Well, you actually burn it white, and that's what happened here. But, it doesn't hurt or anything. My legs are completely functional and mobile. But yeah, I had huge blisters. I looked like the Elephant Man, right? Huge blisters all around. And now, it's like baby skin. This is brand new.
Let's see. Oh, I definitely believe in exactly what you are saying. 100% all fast. Thank you, Erica. I really appreciate it. And you know what? I linked his Instagram, his TikTok, and I believe his website in there in my description. I hope you guys check it out and just, visit his page, subscribe to his page, go to his website, go to his GoFundMe. And when you see brilliant people like this, a lot of the times the government will find a way to steal or take these people out. And I genuinely hope this is not the situation here. You see he's just loved and embraced by people. He's always positive. You don't see anything that's just kind of like questionable about him. You just see him. If he's not working on his reactor, he's doing his other business.
So how has it been running a natural deodorants business where I make 100% handmade natural deodorant? Well, it's been great. Our first month in business, we sold about 300 units. Our second month now, we have sold 500 units in this 1 month alone, and we're looking to continue to expand. I'll be getting us into wholesale, and I'll be bringing on the first few additional employees soon. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and this is the 4th business I've owned, and I'm very grateful to have it go so well because it's important to get natural products out. Because this deodorant
really works, and it is 100% natural. Only 5 ingredients: shea butter, almond oil, magnesium hydroxide, tapioca starch, and essential oils. You can't get better than that, and it actually works. I've been testing it for years. I've been making this since I've been in high school. I'm a black belt in karate. I used to box. I do welding. I do all types of crazy, laborious things in the sun, and this stuff really holds up. You know, I've tested it in saunas, so.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. The leader of the future. When I see a man like this, I see a leader of the future. A jack of all trades. Knowledgeable, wise, and hardworking. You heard him. His 4th business. This one's pretty successful, it seems like. Right? I mean, most people can't say that. And he's also working on something that could literally change the whole entire world. Like I mentioned before when I brought up this, Trash Island, twice the size of Texas. Texas is pretty much our largest state. 92% of that is plastic. He could really get rid of all that if he had the funding behind him. I'm just going to look at a few more of his posts. I'm about to get out of here because I got some stuff to do. But I just wanted to shed light on this because it's not being talked about enough. And I know Erica said it's not in the mainstream media. I didn't notice it was on World Star, surprisingly. So once it goes there, it's just a matter of time before it gets everywhere else.
Everybody, take a look at this absolute bollocks. Look, the scientists are saying, oh my God, we had a breakthrough, everybody. We found the next best thing for humanity. Let's turn plastic waste into freaking vanilla extract. You can't be serious right now. Like, some people tell me, just for reference, I turn plastic waste into fuel, right? And I've been doing it for 5 years. And some people tell me, Nature Jab, that's not good for the environment. Because you know what? When you turn something into fuel, you gotta burn it, make CO2, blah, blah, blah. And then all I always have to say is, first of all, when you leave plastic in the environment, it breaks down into methylene and ethane, 25 times worse and 40 times worse than CO2, and it cannot be absorbed by trees, and CO2 can be absorbed by trees. But nonetheless, anybody that says turning plastic into fuel is a bad...
So in other words, we just got to plant more trees. That's what I'm hearing from this. We just got to plant more trees.
Are you afraid of the big oil companies coming for you?
No.
Can you explain why? The guy with the water card disappeared fairly quick, and a couple of other people have disappeared along the way too. So why are you not afraid?
Well, it's because this is simply something I'm passionate about and something I want to do. You know, I saw the plastic problem and I saw a huge lack in the industry, and I said, I'm going to take it in my own hands to do this. And so I know that if I set my mind to something, I'm going to do it. And it doesn't really matter what I'm told. You know, of course, people told me, stop, don't do it. I did it anyway. And so since I know I'm set on doing this, being in fear is only going to make it harder for me. It's going to make it inefficient for me to do it. You see, if I was kind of teetering on the fence of, do I really want to do this or not, then yeah, that might be a thing that scares me out of it. But the fact that I'm set, I'm like, I'm going to turn plastic into fuel. I want to clean these oceans. I want to make a decentralized solution for everybody in the world, and nobody's going to stop me but myself. It makes no sense to be in fear. It's just going to slow down the mission.
Okay, I get that, and I respect that. Are you afraid?
Strength and conviction. All right, I'm not going to look at too many more of his posts. I remember that guy. Oh, God, what was his name? He lives like he lives a very old school lifestyle. God, what was his name? Like he has a lot of old vehicles and stuff. And then there was him and another guy. I was about to say him, Moses. I think I want to say.
I am with the legend, Moses West, right here.
Now they also saying that Moses West is missing too. They say he hasn't posted in a long time. And if you don't know who Moses West is, he's a man who was in the U.S. Army that made a machine that took the humidity from the air and made drinkable water. And I remember when Flint, Michigan was having their water crisis, he wanted to bring his machine there to help give them drinking water, and they turned him away. So another man, another black man that is sitting here wanting to help change the world or improve conditions for the lower class, something that's very basic like drinkable water, and he's kind of missing too. I'll come back to this. Let's go to his Instagram right quick.
Came all the way from New York to test out the water. Oh, it's clean. We need this in NYC. This thing is as real as the sun coming out in the morning tomorrow. If you don't believe it, come see it for yourself. Water has so many microplastic problems. This has zero, has none. Best water in the world is the one that comes out from the sky, never touching the ground. Came all the way from...
And that's just really impressive. So we have a whole entire city that can't drink water, and we have a man that come up with a solution. Why not invest into it? I swear our system is so freaking corrupt sometimes that we have brilliant people that come up with solutions for problems, and instead of us embracing those solutions to make our world, our country, and the cities and people and everything around us better, we just screw it over. Every single time, we just tend to screw it over. All right, I'm about to get out of here. You guys like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And tell me what you think. I hope he's okay. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Check out his socials. And before I go, the main reason I want to come up here was because I remember he put this up here. If it will pull up. Here we go. Okay. He has written affirmations. I thought this was pretty cool. Hang on. Let's see. Remember this. My name is Julian Brown, and I will change this world. I persevere through all the challenges, expected or unexpected. I am meat to the water of life. I am a fighter. I am a warrior. Success is my only option. I am love. I am protected, and no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I am on my purpose and mission bestowed upon me by a higher power. It is only a matter of when. Every mistake is just postponing what will happen. My foundation is impervious. My drive is unquittable, and my success is inevitable. Almost sounds like Muhammad Ali. I'm going to be honest with you. There is no fear out there. We're not scared of them. All right, I'm out of here.